If you watch these videos, you're probably wondering, Devon, why are you in this new bathroom? If you've never watched before, you're gonna figure it out anyway. So I went to a hotel to decompress and just get away for the night by myself. And I brought instruments to play and whatnot. So I'm gonna go over some of that stuff while I'm washing my face and using all this Drunk Elephant product. If you haven't heard of Drunk Elephant, they are amazing, seriously. And I've had this stuff for a few weeks now, and I've been using it. And I wanted to make a video on it before, but I didn't want to do it with like just, I don't know, a few times use, because then I feel like it would be fake, you know, because you can't really tell what something is like after like a few days or even a week really. Yeah, I'm going to wash my face and also tell you why I chose this hotel specifically, and it's my favorite hotel in the entire world. And I'm not, this is not a plug, or I'm not working with the Westin or Marriott or anything like that. Like, this is legitimately my favorite hotel and has some sentimental value in my life. So that sounds dumb for a hotel, but it really, really does. Let's get started washing my face really quick. I'll show you what I'm using as I go. This is Jelly Cleanser. It's pretty good stuff. It doesn't leave my face feeling super dry or anything like that. Like, it legitimately makes it feel like, you know, there's some soaps that you use and like you're using them, hold on, you're using them, but it feels like they're just like burning your face. Does that make any sense? For me, at least, with a lot of soaps that I use, it feels like they dry out my face like crazy, and then they end up burning my face. It feels like with a lot of soaps that I use, it feels like they dry out my face, or cleansers I should call them. And then after, when I use stuff, my skin gets burned. So this is not the case with all this Drunk Elephant stuff. I've been using it a lot, and sorry, I keep looking in the mirror to make sure I'm getting every little piece. But I've been using it a lot, and it doesn't do this. So that's like a big key factor for me. I know there's more expertise that can go into that as far as choosing a cleanser, and it is different for everybody, but that's a big deal for me. Don't judge my skin or the product, because I'm a newbie still. Anyways, also this part, I don't know what I'm supposed to use next necessarily, and honestly on the internet, in forums, everybody goes in a slightly different order, and I should probably go on drunkelephant.com and just check, because I would assume they have stuff there. But I just do it in my order. If it's wrong, it's wrong. You can let me know in the comments. But if you guys have a particular order that you guys like, or if I shouldn't use two products together, I don't know, let me know. But yeah. The next thing I am going to use is a serum. I'm not going to use this night serum, because obviously I use that at night. I'm going to use this C Firma Day Serum. So the reason I like this hotel so much is because when I was like, I don't know, I'm gonna say 5 years ago, different part of my life, I was like, nobody has their stuff together. I don't have my stuff together now. There's a lot of parts of my life where people would see me like, man, you got your stuff together. And then there's other aspects where people that are older or other people might be like, man, you gotta figure some stuff out. And that's true with all of us. Definitely true with all of us. But 5 years ago, in my mid-20s, when that's a part of your life where you definitely feel like, I should have stuff together by now, and 30's creeping up, and like, I need to have stuff together by 30, and like, it's always good to have goals. You should always want that. But I was far from it. I'd quit my job, long story short, and just tried to do the whole like digital marketing thing. I say quotations with that because that's a very vague term. What are we doing next? Hold on. Now I'm going to use the C Tango multivitamin eye cream. This is some cool stuff. I usually don't like to use a lot of stuff that has like vitamin C in it, honestly, but this is okay because it does not burn my face. I know a lot of things have vitamin C in it, but if it has too much, it really does like burn my face genuinely. So if I'm doing this wrong, I think it goes under my eyes. Let me know. So 5 years ago, I was not doing well in certain areas, and it looked like I was messing up, and it didn't look like anything I was doing was making sense. So I found my face with everything like this. to help it dry faster. But yeah, but it didn't look like anything was making sense that I was doing. And to be honest, in some regards, it definitely didn't. And I wish I could go back and do things better, but who hasn't said that about a bunch of things in their life, right? So we would come, like my last, I'm gonna say, I don't know, the end of my mid-20s, I'd say 25, 26, was when my friends and I stopped getting out of that whole like party phase and whatnot. And we didn't travel as much, mainly because people settle down, you know, people have kids, they get married, they get into relationships, they're serious, their jobs get a little bit more demanding. And I just wasn't there with any of that. And I thought that I didn't want certain things. I thought I wanted to be this and that. When you're in your 20s, you think that all the time. And like some people genuinely feel that way, but honestly, like you don't know what you want when you're 25. You have no idea, especially guys. You're just lost. Even if you don't think that you are, you're lost. It's like you think that you're following a great roadmap and you think that you're making your own way. And there's some people that it is like that, but generally it's not. And so I wasn't doing a whole lot of stuff, but we would still travel every once in a while, me and my friends, and go out to different places and really just hang out and party and do whatever we wanted to do. And one of our favorite places was San Francisco. Now it's really close to where we live, and yeah, it was a fun city for that time. But what we would do is, because none of us were making a whole lot of money, we would all put together cash and we would get a hotel room that was like decent, and we would all just huddle in there and then hang out for the night and then leave the next day. It'd always be one day trip. And I would always, like, since I was a little boy, I've always loved hotels, and I've always liked, just, it sounds dumb, but like the way that they're built and like the layout and the architecture, and like you could tell a lot by the hotel from the lobby. And obviously the rooms are the key, but you can tell a lot by the lobby. So whenever we would come here, from the time I was like early 20s to mid 20s, when I was kind of getting out of that phase of life, I would always come to this hotel in particular. I like walking around hotels in general, even if we're not staying there, just looking around. But this hotel, I would always come. And there's a particular reason. It's because when you walk in the lobby, it's like a movie, right? And it's like old school, but still modern and updated, and it's clean, and it just looks like a hotel from a city in a movie. And it just, I don't know. It always brought me this idea of like, man, one day I'm gonna stay here. And I know that sounds like a stupid goal, because like, obviously, like, as you get older, you're probably gonna make a little bit more money, you're gonna have a little bit more freedom to do certain things in certain areas, and I don't know. But that was like a goal, and just like a little goal, not like oh, when I do that, I've made it. That's just like one little thing that's like, I wanna stay here sometime. You know, it wasn't gonna be like some life-changing thing, but I wanted to stay here. And I just couldn't afford it. And it's not like this is an outrageously expensive hotel. It's not at all. But at the time, I didn't have the money for it, and I loved the hotel. So now, as I'm older, coming here gives me a little bit more gratitude, thinking back to how things were back then. Okay, so now we are going to use the Be Hydrate Intensive Hydration Serum. Also, you guys should give me some clues on how much I'm supposed to use of all this, because I don't go crazy with it, because I know it's expensive, and I want it to be able to last. So I usually just cover the good I get all my face, but there's some areas of my face that I probably get a little bit more on than the other areas, more generous with, I should say. So this hotel gives me nostalgia of a time when I wasn't doing as well. And not a bad nostalgia, but just in the sense that it makes me grateful. And, you know, I'm not anywhere near where I want to be. And I'm going to continue to make progress in a lot of areas of my life. But thinking back to where I was 5 years ago, I've made a lot of progress. And thinking back to where I was 10 years ago, a lot of progress. And that's pretty typical, you know, across the board with most people. But when there are times in my life right now that I need to decompress and I need to just, you know, have some time to myself to, for example, do my creative stuff and film and just relax and chill, I want to be somewhere that makes me, I don't know, feel self-reflective. So that sounds very dramatic, but you kind of get what I'm saying a little bit. So next, I'm going to use polypeptide cream. So the truth of the matter is that there's always gonna be stuff to work on. And like I get that, like there's certain aspects of my life where I'm like, I'm doing really well here, I could do way better here, I need to do everything better here, all this different stuff, right? And but the truth of the matter is that like, you feel like your whole life you're supposed to have it together and you're working to have it together, but there's no such thing as together. And this sounds really dumb, but I saw it on a TikTok last night. This lady, she was like, I don't know, mid to early 90s. And she was talking about how there's this list of things that she wished she would have known when she was younger. And one of the biggest one was just nobody has it together. And just everyone, some people bluff a lot better, but nobody has it together. Even people that are rich, you know, even people that have perfect marriages, even people that have the perfect job, even people that, I don't know, have a lot of things that look like they give the majority of people stability. Like, I'm not saying that being rich is what most people think of as stability. I'm not saying that marriage is what most people think of as stability. I'm not saying that having a bunch of real estate is what people think of as stability, or all of your family. I'm not saying that people think of that as stability either. When I'm saying this is like, I mean it in a very broad, vague term, because you know how when you're younger you think that you're going to be an adult one day, and at some point, if you do all the right things, that you're going to be able to coast between the trials and storms of life. At least that's how I thought. And when I talk to a lot of people, they think that also. They think that or they thought that you're going to get to a certain point, you're going to make a certain amount of money, and you're going to settle down, you're going to do all this stuff, and that you're going to be happy, and then maybe some storms happen, and happiness, and it's like an up and down thing like that, you know? And that you're just going to grow as this great person and everything like that. And all of you are great. All of you, don't get down on yourselves. It's not even about that. It's about the idea that life just happens, you know? And there's never going to be there might be periods of life where you feel like you're coasting and everything is going good. Maybe it's because you're not acknowledging stuff, or maybe because everything is just going great, and that's how it is. But sometimes life is hard and it sucks, and it doesn't necessarily have to be, right? But it is, and you don't really have a choice over it sometimes. That's not to say all of life sucks. You have a lot to be grateful for, and if you don't have a lot to be grateful for, you have something to be grateful for. And I'm not trying to downplay the way any of you feel, but I'm trying to, I guess, repeat stuff that I've been told. So, from people that are much more wise and much more knowledgeable than I am. You know what I'm saying? So, the last thing I'm going to put on is this sunscreen. So, if you guys don't put on sunscreen last and I'm wrong for this, then tell me. But I do this last. Look in the mirror real quick. I've got a lot of stuff on my face. Forgive me. I don't know what point I'm trying to make. I think I meant to tell you why I like this hotel, and I went into this big rant that I don't necessarily know what any of it was supposed to mean, to be honest. But thank you for listening, you know what I mean? And be grateful. And if you can't be grateful right now, that's okay. Like, things are hard sometimes, and it's hard to be grateful. Maybe you genuinely don't feel like you have anything to be grateful for, and that's okay too, to feel that way sometimes. But things will get better. If you love people, tell them you love them. And don't assume tomorrow's going to come. And I know that sounds really morbid and whatnot, but I think it's just in the sense of like, that's like a reality that all of us know, but it really could happen that way. And God willing, it doesn't happen that way super soon. You know, I want to live to be really, really old, but it's the truth. So even if you don't do anything super extraordinary on paper today, there's a lot of things you can do to make a difference, and, you know, I don't know, treat people better, help people, and don't make it all about yourself. You know what I'm saying? A little bit. Which is hypocritical as I'm making this stupid YouTube video. I shouldn't say stupid, but you know, it's hypocritical for me to say that. Anyways, again, thank you for listening. Like and subscribe. Drunk Elephant's great. That doesn't burn my face. It makes it feel really good. If you want to stay at a really cool hotel in San Francisco, again, they're not paying me, they're not giving me this room or nothing like that. Genuinely, I love this hotel. It is the Westin St. Francis. Amazing hotel. Definitely get what you pay for. It's in the middle of Union Square. Everything's close to here. So, just my recommendation. Anyways, like and subscribe. Thank you for listening again. I've said it too many times. I will see you guys next time.